In this demonstration, we are going to create a dynamic pool in Unisphere, verify the pool properties, and expand the pool. As you can see, I have opened a Unisphere session to a Dell EMC Unity all-flash system. So let's check what types of flash drives the store system has available for user data. Observe that besides the DPE, the system also has an installed DAE. By selecting the front view, we can verify that the DPE has 25 2.5 inches flash drives. All the drives are the same type, SAS Flash 3, and the same size, 400 gigabytes. If we select the DAE and change to the front view, we can also verify that this enclosure has 22 2.5 inches drives of the same type, SAS Flash 3, and same size, 400 gigabytes. We are now going to create a dynamic pool. So let's navigate to the Pools page by selecting the Pools option under the Storage section in Unisphere. Pools created in all Flash systems using Unisphere are dynamic pools by default. In our example, there is a pool already created in the system named Pool 1. Clicking the Add Sign button will launch the Create Pool wizard. This pool will be named Pool 2. In the next step, we must select the tiers we want to use drives from to build the drive partnership group. In our example, there is only an extreme performance tier with 41 unused drives of the same type, SAS Flash 3, displayed in the list of available tiers. This means that from the total 47 drives between the two enclosures, 6 drives were used by Pool 1. Once selected, the tier is displayed in the list of selected tiers. Observe that the default RAID protection level for the selected tier is RAID 5, and the maximum usable capacity refers to the use of all the available drives from the tier with that particular RAID configuration. The RAID configuration can be changed for the tier selection, and the maximum usable capacity will reflect the choice. In this demo, we are going to keep the default configuration, so let's close the window without making any changes. On the next step of the wizard, we can select the number of drives we want to use from the selected tier to build the pool. In our example, we have 41 400 gigabytes SAS Flash 3 drives. That means that the maximum number of drives I can use to create my pool is 41. And if I create the pool with the total amount of drives, the maximum usable capacity would be 12 terabytes for that particular RAID configuration. Also observe that the minimum number of drives to build the pool from a RAID 5 4+1 configuration is 6 drives, and that brings the total usable capacity of the pool to 1.3 terabytes. We are going to skip the capability profile configuration step in this demonstration. On the summary step, we can review the selections made for the dynamic pool configuration and go back in case any change is necessary. So the pool includes 6 drives configured with RAID 5 protection and usable capacity of 1.3 terabytes. By clicking Finish, we start the process to build the pool. A job is created in the background which creates the drive partnership group, the drive extends, the drive extend pool, the RAID extends, and the private LAN. We can observe the progress of the process from the results page. A green check mark and a status of 100% indicates that the process has finished successfully. So let's close the window and observe the Pools page. The new dynamic pool was added to the list. By selecting it, we can see some of the pool details on the right pane. Since this is a new pool, the only information available at this point is the type of pool and the number of drives used to create the pool. If we click on the drive's number, Unisphere opens the Drives tab on the Pool Properties window. Observe that the dynamic pool was built from drives from the DPE and the DAE. Another tab from the Pools Properties provides information about RAID configuration, including the drive types used, the RAID type, and the stripe width. Now, from a Windows or a Linux client with the Unisphere CLI software installed, we can run this UEM CLI command to access the storage system with the admin account credentials and retrieve details about all the existing pools. Note that the pool we have just created is listed here with information about the raw and usable capacity for both the total and free space. It also shows the number of drives in the pool, the RAID level, and the RAID width, as well as other information. For more information about the pool, we can run the same command using the pool identifier and the detail parameter. Back to Unisphere, we can see in the Pool2 properties that 3 storage resources were created using that dynamic pool, including a file system that was shared using the NFS protocol. From a Linux client, I have driven some I/O to populate the mounted share file system with folders and files. So let's expand the pool. In order to do that, we must select the pool and hit the Expand Pool button. In the first step of the wizard, we must select the tier to use the drives from. Observe that we cannot change the RAID configuration. We can expand a pool with a single drive or with the total amount of available drives in the tier. Using the 35 available drives in the tier would add an additional 9.2 terabytes to the pool. At this moment, we are going to expand the pool with 4 drives, adding a total of 1 terabyte to the pool. On this summary step, we can review the selections made for the expansion of the dynamic pool and go back in case any change is necessary. The page also warns that the expansion operation can be time-consuming. So this expansion includes 4 more drives, bringing the pool total usable capacity to 2.4 terabytes. Once we hit the Finish button, the expansion process is started. A job is created in the background, and we can observe its progress from the wizard results page, or close the wizard and monitor it from the Active Jobs link. The pool now has 10 drives, 5 from the DPE and 5 from the DAE. There are no changes to the RAID level besides the addition of the new drives. The total usable capacity has increased to 2.4 terabytes as well as the free capacity. Observe that at this point, the 3 storage resources built from the pool are consuming a total of 14.2 gigabytes of the total usable capacity, with some data reduction savings for the resources that activated the feature. The UEM CLI command shows some additional details for the pool, including the subscribed capacity in gigabytes. Back to Unisphere, we are going to expand the pool once again. This time we are using only 1 drive. The single 400 gigabytes drive will add 320 gigabytes or 0.3 terabytes of usable capacity, which will bring the pool total capacity to 2.8 terabytes. Once we hit the Finish button, the expansion process is started. A job is created in the background and we can observe its progress from the results page, or we can close the wizard and monitor the process from the Active Jobs link. The pool properties page shows that an additional DAE drive was added to the pool. The RAID tab displays the number of drives in the configuration, and the Usage tab shows the new total usable capacity for the pool. Similar details can be seen for the pool in the output of the UEM CLI command. Now, I have expanded the pool with another single drive, and the system has added a drive from the DAE, bringing the drives count to 12. The pool total usable capacity has increased to 3 terabytes. I have an algorithm running in the background creating folders and files in the shared file system that was built from the pool. So the pool's used capacity graph has some activity to display, Also, observe that at some point with the pool expansion, a background process is started to rebalance the drive extents within the pool newly added drives. And this concludes this demonstration of the dynamic pools. Thanks for watching.